Sir, my name is Cadet Pawlak, and along with Cadet Tavarone, this is our unclassified route brief. To orient you to the map that we've created, sir, we have divided our area of operations into grid squares, and the location we currently are is this flag here. This flag is our patrol base as of right now, and to the north and west is the city that we've recently conducted a raid on. Here is the tallest mountain in the area, and down to the southeast is the primary lake that dominates this part of the landscape. We are starting once again in the patrol base, and we will be finishing at the ORP, which overlooks the kill zone in this valley. So with that, we have created two potential routes for your decision, sir, on using these green bits of tweed wire. Our primary route is marked with checkpoints by green army men, and our alternate route is marked by checkpoints by khaki army men. So without further ado, we will go straight into our first route, starting at the patrol base. We will be heading on a 165-degree grid down to this saddle. There's two primary hills here, one here and one where we are currently occupying. Once we hit the saddle, we're going to immediately take a 64-degree grid headed down to the road. Now, it should be noted that here, while there is a low chance of contact given the fact that we've recently cleared the area to make room for our patrol base, we'll still be going in a squad file due to the extensive terrain and the extensive vegetation. Once we reach the road, there is a very high danger of enemy contact due to the intelligence we've received that the enemy loves to patrol all these roads signified by rocks, by the way, sir. So this linear danger area needs to be conducted to standard and with extreme caution. Once we make that linear danger area crossing, we will be able to go at 11 degrees north for a distance of 500 meters. Now, because of the extensive terrain, we're going to use extensive use of backstops. Here, that backstop is going to be rivers signified by the white yarn that's not part of the grid, but actually on our terrain model. Once we have reached that, we know that we are going to stop, and we are going to turn at a 83-degree grid. Once again, this entire time, we'll be going in squad file, and we will be moving in traveling overwatch. We'll have to be careful as we move up this river, as while it is still quite steep, it is the easiest avenue of approach, and it is possible that the enemy will know this and have some sort of countermeasures in place. With that information, we will have finally reached checkpoint 4. At checkpoint 4, the backstop will be this cliff. There's a very deep valley here, combined with a very high ridge. Once we hit that ridge, we're going to take 20 degrees north, moving even further up the mountain. Now, as we reach this part of the mountain, it should be noted that the summit of the mountain is just a couple hundred meters away here. We know that somewhere in the area is a enemy surveillance and observation team, and if they want maximum ability to control the area and surveil, they may likely choose this mountaintop. So we need to send our own surveillance team, perhaps send a team to clear the area, whatever is necessary to make sure that our surveillance and observation team, potentially located in this area, does not find us. And with that, we will be moving along this W shape. You cannot possibly get lost. I say that knock on wood, sir, because there are sheer cliffs on either side. But that said, as an emergency, it is approximately a 80-degree grid between checkpoints 5 and 6. Once we reach checkpoint 6, we are entering a higher danger area, and usually we would switch at this point into something like squad column fire, team wedge, and bounding overwatch. However, the terrain is so dense and so tight that this simply is not practical. We're going to be forced to stay in squad file no matter how much we would like to spread out. Therefore, we simply need to exercise extreme caution, move extremely slowly, maintain a low profile wherever possible. A squad file is simply the only way to move through this terrain. That brings us to checkpoint 7. Checkpoint 7 will be a brief handrail down to the ORP, and with that, I'll hand it over to my partner, Cadet Tavarone.
Sir, I'm good at Tavarone. I'll be briefing the alternate route. So as we start at the patrol base here, we will be moving at about 170 degrees down to checkpoint 1. We'll be moving in a file and through the forest again, using the hilltops to our east as attack points and checkpoints. Now we're going to be moving down to checkpoint 2, which is a draw down that little hilltop. And at the bottom of this draw is going to be a river crossing, and that's going to be greater than 12.5 meters according to the map. Again, it's going to be a spur at the bottom of the mountain and moving through forest, so enemy contact is about medium, so just keep your head on a swivel around, but not too worried still. So now down to checkpoint 3, we're going to be moving from this river down to the road, the route 18 signified by the rocks here. Now we're getting to open area, so enemy contact is high, or possibility is high, and we're going to be moving in a squad column fire team wedge and conducting a linear danger area crossing at route 18. Now we're moving in the open area, so being aware that there could be more enemy possibly in the area. Now moving over to checkpoint 4, we're going to be moving through the forest and kind of trying to stay out of that area at 100 degrees grid for about 800 meter movement. Now there's a trail to the north, which is a possible avenue of approach for the enemy, so just to be aware of. But we were moving through the forest and again moving in a squad column fire team wedge as we get at a clear area. Now from checkpoint 4 to checkpoint 5, we're going to be going from the river down here that we're going to be crossing again to the spur at the bottom of the mountain at about 5 degrees northeast. And it's going to be light forest and medium possible contact with the enemy. We're going to be transitioning to a file and traveling overwatch as we are back in the forest with better concealment, better cover, but limited observations of field of fire. Now from checkpoint 5 to checkpoint 6, we're going to be moving from the spur to the hilltop. Now it's going to be a little bit more of a difficult movement, but this is going to allow us to move through this ridge to get where we have to get. So now from checkpoint 6 to checkpoint 7, we're going to be moving about 56 degrees grid along this ridge until we hit this river located right here. Now this should be more of a stream signified by the map, and once we hit this, we're going to be moving now north at about 355 degrees and hitting the next river at checkpoint 8. And from here to checkpoint 8, we're going to be moving down to the ORP, where we will set up our position to dominate this enemy in a squad ambush.